Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Before I start with the book, all right, so just a brief talking about this Visuddhimagga. We already finished the session of the Sila. Sila, we go quite fast. But we spend more time on the samatha, on the 40 types of samatha practice. And then now we are going to the panya wisdom. So before today, we already spent some time talking about five aggregates, talking about 16 bases and 18 elements. So this will be mentioned in this chapter, but I will not go through because we already done the five aggregates, 18 elements and 12 bases in the previous part one. All right. So today I just focus more on how we are supposed to get some different levels of vipassana insight starting from today. So it's actually, if you practice, I would say, if you practice vipassana quite seriously, you will be able to follow well. But if you not really practice that seriously, or you are more on samatha base, you might find all these are too theoretical. But it's actually good to know because it's like giving us the right knowledge. Like in Noble Eightfold Path, you need to have the right knowledge. Once you have right knowledge, you will have right thought. Once you have right thought, it will be easier to practice. It's like when you walk on a path, if you know where are you supposed to go, how long it's supposed to walk, and what is the final destination, what it will look like, then it will be much more clearer to you. But for example, if you're going to somewhere, you don't know where, how many kilometers, you don't know what kind of things will you encounter, you don't know what will happen at the end. You just follow blah blah blah. Then you will not really appreciate the whole process of meditation. Okay. So as usual, we are going to try new things today. New things means last time I will read, you also read. That's true. But remember on the last session, we say, I think Sister Vila suggests we can have some discussion. All right. So at the end of this, we hope we can. I don't think we can finish all the pages. So maybe we finish some, then we will try to go for discussion. So I will break you into few rooms. Hopefully, yeah, there's a breakout room function in the Zoom, so you all can have a short, maybe 10-minute discussion with each other. They will stimulate you all to talk more. Okay, so we will start with the. I will read first, and then I will explain subsequently. Some of you will take over the reading, so there's to make me less tired. Okay, now we hope this will be the. We hope we can finish in 3 months, but it depends because it's the first time I conduct this kind of course on this one. We may take 3 months or less or more. It's difficult to say. No, I hope you all can attend, every Thursday, because you notice this book is not easy to read. It's actually very difficult to read. Now, today we will talk about the 7 purification and 16 types of vipassana knowledge. And under this, there will be, according to the chapter in Visuddhimagga, there will purification of view, which is a definition of mentality and materiality, namarupa. There will be also discussion of purification of overcome doubt, which is knowing the cause and effect, different types of causal relations, purification by knowledge and vision of what is and what is not path. Number 5, purification by knowledge and vision of the way, purification by knowledge and vision, benefits in developing understanding. So if you have as a Vipassana practitioner, you have gone through some of them, you can follow well. Now, before we go more detail, let's have some introduction. What is 7 kinds of purification? Now, this Pali word Visuddhi is actually quite famous. Satta is 7. Most commonly refer to 7 stages of purification, Satta Visuddhi in Theravada Buddhism, a progressive path to enlightenment involving purifying conduct, there's a morality, purifying the mind, and view. View means purify the mind from the wrong view. Then overcome different kind of doubts, and finally gaining insight into the path, the practice, and ultimate truth as outlined in the Ratta Vinita Sutta, Relay Chariots, and detailed in texts like the Visuddhimagga. All right, so he also mentioned about the Visuddhimagga here. Actually, the whole teaching of 7 stages of purification is really coming from the Buddha's text. That means that from this sutta, it's in a MN, this is from the Access to Insight, Tipitaka. MN means Majjhima Nikaya, the middle length, or click here. And this is a translation by Thanissaro. Okay. Now, this sutta is actually, I would say, quite famous. So if you have time, you can read again and again. So it just say that at the time the Blessed One was in Rajagaha. So with the monks, right, and so on. Okay. Now there's one monk here called Punya Matani Buddha. Right. He's a famous one. Say one of those who had the ekagata means foremost in something. Now then beside this monk, then there's another one, Sariputra, who also very good in wisdom. Right. Then the Buddha said, so the Buddha actually praised the Punyamatani Buddha because he's very wise, also can explain very well. So therefore, Sariputra is very interested to meet him. So one day he want to go and make conversation with this Punyamatani Buddha. Right. And then one day the Buddha wander to this place. And then the Punyamatani Buddha also heard the Blessed One has come. Right. So he go there. And then people go and inform Sariputra about this learned monk, Punyamatani Buddha. Right? Then Sariputra really purposely go and met him. Now you can see that Sariputra is very foremost in wisdom. So he asked this Venerable Punya also praised by the Buddha as one who is very learned. Then he asked the question, is it the purpose to live? What is the purpose of live under the holy life? Is it for the purity? Means that the sila visuddhi, purity of morality or conduct? They say no. Is it for the mind? No. Is it for purification of view? No. Is it for overcome the perplexity? Means overcome the doubt? No. So actually here he asks a series of purification. The answer is no. Then another one, is it for the knowledge and vision of what is path and not the path? And no. And then this is another purification. Is it for the knowledge and vision? No. Okay. Then he asks, what is it the purpose? Then the purpose is for the sake of, means that it's from letting go everything through no clinging, no attachment. Okay, then he asks the question again and again. So actually what it say that if you want the purification, if you want the purification, 7 purification, you cannot just depend on one by one. You have to depend all of them. All right. So then this sutta, he just give a simile. Right. So let's say King Pasenadi, he want to go. He was staying in Sawati. He want to go to Saketa, and between Sawati and Saketa, so they need to make 7 relay chariots. Means that because it's a very long journey, so he need to have a set up one stop by one stop, one stop. So from one place, he go one place, he reach to the other one. From the other one, he go to third one. So he just need to change the horse. Because if he need to change the horse, then he can reach the destination by one stop to another stop, another stop, another stop, and stop. So in this way, he can reach from Sawadhi to the Saketa by not tiring, because he's using the different horses, means that using one stop to another stop, another stop. So according to this sutta, if you want to reach the end, you need to use the 7 purification. Means that one purification will lead to another purification, another one to another one, another one. So that's the meaning of this 7 purification. Means that you cannot skip all of them, but you need to follow the steps, right? So anyway, you can read the sutta again. So now we go to some of the important point here. 7 types of purification. And in the Vipassana, we have 16 types of Vipassana Jnana, means Vipassana insight. So there will be purification and conduct, chapter 1, which I already mentioned. There's a chapter 1 of Visuddhimagga. Minimally, if any disciple, they need to keep 5 precepts or 8 precepts in meditation time. And then monks and nuns have their own precept. Or there's a patimokkha restraint, means for the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. So there's a purified fourfold virtue. Anyway, this is to get the first sila, first visuddhi, sila visuddhi. So if anybody managed to get to keep their precepts, so they already have some sila. But sila, is it enough? Not enough. You need to, after based on your good sila, you need to go for the purification of mind. It's just like the king, if he want to reach another place, he need to change to another stop, another horses. So from there, based on the sila visuddhi, you train for purification mind. Chitta visuddhi. That's on the chapter 2 to 11 of the Visuddhimagga, path of purification, by the samatha. So in Visuddhimagga, it mentions about 40 samatha practices. And it also mentions some of the vipassana practices. How do you get the purification of mind? All right. As long as your mind are free from it, your mind is free from hindrances. Either you get access concentration, that's the best, or the even better will be you get into jhana, so we call absorption concentration. Or if you are practicing the vipassana, that there's another one we call it the momentary. So you can add on momentary concentration for vipassana. So you can purify the mind based on the conduct morality. So after you get this, then you go for purification of view. Now, the word dikti in Pali normally refer to wrong view. Unless you have the word like sama dikti, then it means right view. So normally every time you see in Abhidhamma, dikti means always wrong view. So this is the purification of wrong view. But here we just translate as view. Now, what is wrong view? Wrong view about like self, cling to the mind matter as self. So you need to reduce by knowledge. That's why the chapter 14 to 17 is talking about different types of knowledges. And then how do you reduce the wrong view? Okay, now I'm just giving you the preview first, okay? Because once you get into detail, you might be confused. Now, to reduce the wrong view of this self or I, is you need to be very clearly know what is nama rupa. We call it nama rupa paricheda jnana, analytical knowledge of body and mind. Actually, body and mind maybe not the best translation. Sometimes I think it's better change it to matter, mind and matter better rather than body and mind. Okay, mind and matter. Okay, because the body sometimes can be a kind of like concept also. So this is the best way. So by you only see only mind, matter, nama rupa, you see there's no I, no self. So you get this purification of view. Then after that, not enough. You still have to purify by overcome the doubts. Kanka vitarana visuddhi. Right. So after that, there are how you get this view by having the different types of different. This is all the vipassana knowledge. By one, the knowledge of discerning conditionality, pachaya parikahanyana. Then by knowledge of comprehension, trying to see anicca dukkha anatta, impermanent suffering non-self. Then by knowledge of arising, passing away. This means that you see everything arise, pass away, arise, pass away. And at each weak stage, there's a 10 correction inside. This one we will learn later one by one. So this is just a preview. Then also purification of knowledge and vision of what is path and non-path. So this Pali is actually good to remember. Magga is path. Magga. Magga is not path. So Magga and Magga combine, you put together, then you have the long A. Magga, GA, plus Magga. So combine, it will be long A. Magga, Magga. Jnana. Jnana is knowledge. Dasana is vision. Visuddhi is a purification. All right. Then you have another one. That's a number 5. Number 6 will be purification by knowledge and vision of the course of practice. Patipada, practice. Jnana, dasana, knowledge and vision, visuddhi. So at this point, it's a matured types of this knowledge arising, passing away. So earlier one on above, you can see is a weak one. And then there's different types of knowledge: dissolution, fearfulness, misery, disgust, desire for deliverance, knowledge of observation, knowledge of equanimity about formation, and then the insight leading to emergence and so on. So there are different types of vipassana jnana. Totally, if you calculate, we can up to 16 normally. But if you want to go further, there will be 17, 18, 19 here. The last one will be knowledge, purification of knowledge and vision. So there are these. Anyway, okay, so this is a preview. Let's go for the first one. So I think I will read later, we'll take turn. So this is a book called Visuddhi. Remember, Visuddhi purification. So Visuddhimagga. This Magga is we translate as path. Path of purification. There are two translators. One is by Nyana Moli. Another one is Pe Mautin by one of the Burmese author. So today we will talk about chapter 18, Purification of View, Ditti Visuddhi, the simile of the tree. In the Visuddhimagga, fortifying his knowledge by learning and questioning about those things that are so, refers to the foundational study of Buddhist doctrines like Pali terms, aggregates, elements, and dependent origination before deep meditation. Now here you can see before deep meditation, and means that make your knowledge stronger by learning and questioning. Actually, it's actually some people say we should not learn before we meditate. But I think it's good to learn a little bit, because if we don't learn, how are we going to know that what are we supposed to practice? Let's say if you never heard about Namarupa, how are you going to know you're practicing Namarupa? If you never heard about 5 aggregates, then how are you going to know what is 5 aggregates? So before deep meditation, we need to know some. Of course, it's impossible for us to gain the absolute right knowledge, right? But it's no harm as long as we are learning something. Then slowly, when we meditate, we will be getting more right view about like self. We know this self is just a concept, so it's good to learn. So that's why we call it soul. Soul means it's kind of like a foundation, right? It's a basis. Now the two purification, the purification of virtue and purification of mind. So if you refer to the top, this is referred to the number 1 and number 2. All right, number 1 and number 2. So number 1 and number 2, purification of virtue and purification of mind, that are the roots. The 5 purifications. So totally how many? Remember 7, all right? So you have 2 here. These are 2. And the others, later one, is a 5, all right? Purification of view, purification by overcoming doubts, purification by knowledge and vision of what is path and what is not path, purification by knowledge and vision of the way, and purification by knowledge and vision are the trunk. So you have 3 simile here because we are talking about the tree. So you have the soil here. I just highlight it because sometimes it's actually easy to remember when you have this kind of upama examples and simile. Now, your mind can think about a tree. Let's say a tree will stand upright because the soil is very have very fertile, lots of good mineral for it. Then the roots, okay, the roots must be very strong. So if the roots really deep penetrate into the earth, it get all the nutriment, they will grow faster. Then the trunk also must straight because the trunk straight, and then after that the trunk will hold the flowers and branches. So there's a simile given here. Now we going to start more on the text. This is text number 3, and I put the numbers here so you can follow better. Okay. We normally start with the students. Okay, we start out with the diploma student. Okay, Sister Wong, you can start to read 3 and 4. You need to unmute.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Saji. For those starting with samatha practice, after emerging from jhana, he should discern characteristics, function, etc. The jhana practice consisting of applied thought, etc., and the states associated with them, that is, feeling, perception, and so on. When he has done so, all that should be defined as mentality, nama, in the sense of bending, namana. 4. So too, this meditator scrutinizes that mentality. He seeks to find out what its occurrence is supported by, and he sees that it is supported by the matter of the heart. The 28 matters have 4 primary elements, which are the heart's support, and the remaining derived kinds of mentality, 24, that have the elements as their support.
Okay, thank you. Right.
Thank you, Saji.
Okay, now for those starting with samatha practice, I write this one, I added this one because when you read this one, you know. Because when you read this one, the person must emerge from jhana. Okay. Now, normally when you read something, always pay attention to important point. Now, if you are in the jhana, you cannot discern all this. Discern means you contemplate or you're aware. You try to see. Why? Because in the middle of jhana, your mind is, let's say you are doing the breathing. So your mind is stuck with the breathing or you are inside the breathing. So you cannot see the jhana factors. So you have to get up from the jhana. You get up from jhana, then you need to see the jhana factors. Remember jhana factors, there are 5. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekata. Initial thoughts, sustained application, joy, happiness, and one-pointedness. So then he should see the jhana factors, or all these jhana factors. And when jhana factors arise, of course, it will not arise only one because it will arise with other mental states or the cetasika. That's including the feeling and so on. Right. This means that after he emerged from jhana, he need to see the jhana factors and try to see their characteristic function and so on. Minimally, at least like the initial application, the vitaka, will be like try to apply to the focus will be again on the object. Then vichara will be keep on the object. Joy will be some good feeling. Sukha will be some happiness. Then ekagata, one-pointedness, is concentration. So he should see the characteristic of the jhana factors. However, he just need to define them as mentality, right? In the sense of bending. Now, this nama, when we say, when you learn Visuddhimagga or you learn Abhidhamma, it's very important for us to try to understand the Pali as much as you can. Because like we see the Pali word nama, what actually nama? Nama is coming from this noun, nam and ana, okay? Nam means root, okay? The Pali, each Pali word or Pali verb, there's one root. The root nam is to bend. Like even like when we say what is the meaning of bend? Bend means to incline, right? You see the bend, right? So what is the meaning of bend? Bend means the mind inclined to the object. So for example, you hear a sound, pop, your mind inclined to the sound. Okay, when you smell something nice, so your mind incline means your mind go to the object. So it just like zoom focus very fast. So that's the meaning. So when he emerged from jhana, he tried to see all the jhana factors, they focus or bend to the incline to the object. So not only that, first he must see the nama. Then after that, he tried to see the rupa. Now, what is rupa? Means after that he know this nama. I'll try to use the Pali word. Nama means mentality. Try to see all the rupa. In Abhidhamma, we learn there are 28 matters. So there are 4 great elements. Okay, and there are 24 upada rupa, derived materials that is dependent on this one. So here, of course, when you read the Visuddhimagga, it gives you lots of information. Okay, but we just practice as we can. So basically, when you practice, you need to know the jhana factors. Okay, you need to contemplate jhana factors and try to see any lupa. Because I think it's a really, we don't have time to go and really see the 28. Even 28 is concept, because like if you are male, you will not have female. If you are female, you will not have male characteristic. So try to see any of the 28 matters first. And most important thing, you must see them as lupa. Lupa means changes. Okay, Thomas, you can read this one. This one first. Thomas.
He defines all that as materiality, rupa, because it is changed, rupana, by cold, etc. After that, he defines in brief as mentality, materiality, nama rupa, the mentality that has the characteristic of bending and the materiality that has the characteristic of being changed. But one whose vehicle is pure insight, or that same aforesaid, one whose vehicle is serenity, discerns the 4 elements in brief or in detail, or 32 body parts. 32 body parts is 20 earth elements plus 12 water elements.
Okay, thank you. Now, so first, you must define the nama, right, as bending to the object. Second thing is try to see the materiality, means it will change. Actually, sometimes in the Visuddhimagga, they translate with the word molested, but actually change is better for the word lupana, because our body is subject to change, like hot and cold, hunger, thirst. So that's why when you meditate, you sit down, you notice that the body is like feel uneasy, Sometimes you want to move around, you feel itch here, you feel cold here, because our body is changing all the time. And then after that, he need to define there's only nama rupa. Because it's very important for us to know whatever practice we do, we must always see there's only 2 truths, nama and rupa. There's no I and my, right? And then for those who are doing pure insight means they practice straight vipassana. We call it pure insight. Pure insight means they don't base on any samatha practice. Okay? No samatha practice, but direct vipassana. So we call it pure insight. Or those who practice samatha first. This whose vehicle is serenity means those who practice samatha first. So you should try to see the four great elements in brief or in detail. So when we say four great elements in brief, we have discussed previously means like earth is hard and soft, rough and smooth and so on. Then watery, then hot and cold and so on. But if you want to do things in very deep, you can go for 32 body parts, right? Then you have to take like head, there's a hardness there. Then you take the kidney, like very heavy, and then the nail, take one by one body parts and try to see the characteristics and so on. That's if you want to do in detail. Okay. Now here is there's some points here I think we mentioned previously in the previous class, but we can read through. Okay, Chai Hun, you can read 6 and 7.
So it's not convenient to read, sorry.
Oh, okay, why no convenient?
Because my mom is speaking at the background.
Okay, next person. Who is the next person? Elaine. Yeah. Cannot hear you? Yes. Yeah, can hear you now. Yes.
But
Read.
there are more aspects that become clear when those 32 aspects have been proved. The 10 are 4 aspects of the fire element and 6 aspects of the air element. What heats, what consumes, what burns up, what digests, upgoing winds or forces, downgoing winds in the stomach, winds in the bowel, winds in the lymph glands.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because your voice is not so clear at your place. Okay, never mind. Right. Next time try to bring a mic, Elaine. Right. Because if not, your voice not clear. Okay, never mind, it's okay. So beside the 32, you also got 10 more 10 more aspect. So 10 will be 4 for of the fire and 6 of the wind. All right. So you put how you get 10? 10 means this 4 fire and 6 wind. Okay, wind or air. So if you put together, you got the 10. So 10 plus the 32, mentioned 32 body parts, you got 42. So this is about means that when you try to meditate, you try to see what is hot in your body, what is consumed, means in your stomach, what is burned out, and so on. Then there will be different types of wind. Some of the wind go up, some go down, some in the stomach, some in the bowel, some in the limbs that cause us to move around, and breath. Okay, this is a good division for the four great elements. Okay, now there are some more here. Okay, Cindy.
Another 60 instances of materiality become plain with the physical, heart basis, and the 5 sense doors. That is, with the heart basis decade and the 5 decades beginning with the eye decade. Inseparable are 4 great elements: color, smell, taste, nutriment. Eye decade equals to 8 inseparable plus life faculty plus eye sensitivity. So also ear decade, nose decade. 60 equal to 6 sense basis plus times material group in 10.
Okay, thank you. So this is a good revision of Abhidhamma. I think I did the Abhidhamma about 2 years ago. I actually I'm not sure how many of you still remember the Abhidhamma facts. Remember, Visuddhimagga is a commentary, so sometimes it has lots of points, from Abhidhamma, from other commentary, and from the suttas. So it's like a very heavy book. Okay, so this is some information about different types of. All these are very small. We call it the unit of matter. Eye decay means something in the eye, something based on the eye, right? Then the ear decay, nose decay. So anyway, there are 60 of them. So now, normally you find in like those in bio practice, they will try to see all this in detail. Okay. Right. Number 8. So when he has discerned materiality task, the immaterial states become plain to him in according to the sense though. That is to say the 81 kinds of mundane consciousness. The supra-mundane kinds of consciousness, however, are not discernible either by one who is practicing pure. This is how one meditator defines materiality in detail through the method of defining the 4 elements. Okay. Now, this is a immateriality states means nama, your mind. So your mind become obvious according to the sense door. This means that when you're not the sixth sense base, you notice that the ear, like for example, the eye consciousness appear in the eye door. Then ear consciousness will appear in the ear door. Nose consciousness will appear in the nose door. All right. So based on our contemplated sixth sense basis, you can see immaterial. Immaterial is just very simple. You just write the word nama. Okay. Sometimes the English is difficult. Nama means your mind. So your mind will be clear when you're not the sixth sense basis, and also other types of consciousness. This means the 81 is possible, but the supramundane 8 is not possible at all. This is how one meditator defines the mentality, materiality, namarupa in detail to the method of defining the 4 elements. 4 elements means the one that mentioned above. Okay. 4 elements is in detail. But if you want to go detail, it's 32 body parts. So either way, as long as you can see the body clearer. So when you see the body clearer, you can see the mind clearer. Okay, thank you, Cindy. Okay, now that is 4 great elements. Now another way is 18 elements. Another one is 5 aggregates. Okay, next person. Sister Sumitra. Khan. Sister Sumitra Khan. Yes.
Two, definition based on the 18 elements. 9. Another does it by means of 18 elements. How? Here, a bhikkhu considers the elements thus. There are in this person the I element, the mind consciousness element. 11 and 12. Please refer back to the 12 bases and 8 elements taught before in the part 1 of this course. 4. Definition based on the 5 aggregates. 13. Another defines it more briefly than that by means. So he defines all these 27 instances of materiality as the materiality aggregate. He defines the feelings that arises together with the 81 kinds of mundane consciousness as the feeling aggregate. The perception associated therewith as the perception aggregate. The formations associated therewith as the formation aggregate. And the consciousness as the consciousness aggregate.
Okay, thank you. So this means that you try to see the body as 18 elements. All right. Now, what is 18 elements? We will not go through. Basically means your sixth sense six sense door, six sense object together with the six sense consciousness. And then either you see your body as five aggregates. That means that the materiality, feeling, perception, formation, and consciousness. So either way. So any way you say, as long as you must see which is a materiality and which is a mentality. So in five aggregates, only one aggregate is materiality, and the four, the feeling, perception, formation, and consciousness, immaterial, is a mentality. So in this way, you define the nama rupa. Okay. Now it's go some more in detail already. Okay, I think we can skip this one. Let's go for 17. Okay, for impulsion, as materiality becomes quite definite, disentangled and quite clear to him, so the defilements that are opposing him subside. His consciousness becomes clear like the water above the mud, and the immaterial states that have that materiality as their object become plain of themselves too. Now, why is say that when we practice meditation, sometimes we cannot just always go to mind level. We have to go for body. Materiality means body. You have to see the body very, very clear. So that's the meaning of definite. Means you either see 4 great elements or 32 body parts or 18 bases or whatever. So you need to see very clear. Because when you see clear, what's the meaning of clear? Clear means you'll be able to see this object. When the object of your mind is clear. Okay? Because materiality means rupa. The rupa appear as object. If the object is clear, what will happen? So the defilement will be reduced. Why? Because the object is clear means your mind be able to grasp well. When your mind be able to grasp it well, so that means that your mind has less defilement. And then your consciousness will be very clear, just like water. So when your consciousness is clear means no defilements, then you can see very clearly what is nama rupa. You can see the immaterial means nama. Your nama will have the rupa as the object. So you can see these two very clearly. Nama rupa very clearly. Okay. Now, what if the nama, the immaterial means nama, the mind, not clear? What should you do? Okay, this is a question. Now, earlier one we say up to this state, if the rupa, your body, rupa is clear, then the nama, mind is supposed to be clear. But what if nama not clear? So what should we do? Okay. So you can try by these 3 ways: contact, feeling, and consciousness. So when it's clear, you can do it in this way. Okay. Will we invite somebody? Okay, like Sister Vira? Yes.
Thank you, Saiji. Vishnu.
Okay.
Okay. How the immaterial states become evident, is it?
Yes.
When he has quite cleared up this discerning of materiality, then the immaterial states become evident to him through one of 3 aspects. That is, through contact, through feeling, or through consciousness. How? Through contact. General 19.1a. When he discerns the 4 primary elements in the way beginning, the earth element has the characteristic of hardness. Contact becomes evident to him as the first conjunction, and the feeling associated with that as the feeling aggregates. The associated perception as the perception aggregates. The associated volition together with the aforesaid contact as the formation aggregates and the associated consciousness is the consciousness aggregate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. Now we call it, let's say if the materiality, the rupa is clear, then the mind should be quite clear. Now, if the mind is not clear, what we do is you can pay attention to the contact. All right. So in this way, it can be more evident. Here, of course, the text say the nama is clear. But my suggestion is if your nama is not clear to you, we can follow the Visuddhimagga, means we try to see the contact. Now, contact, what is contact? For example, you hear the sound. Is that part you don't aware of what kind of sound? Is it a good sound or bad sound? As long as your mind can notice the contact, especially why we say use the sound, because sound is actually much more easier to notice rather than the sight. Because the sight you see things always quite same. But the sound you can hear the sound coming is a contact. Or sometimes when you go to a place where it's very smelly or what, you notice the contact to the nose is very strong. So actually, even when we study the dependent origination, okay, when there's a sense base, there's a contact. After contact, there's a feeling. So the contact is one of the way we try to see the nama. Because when the contact come in, you notice the nama is there. When the contact there, of course, there will be feeling. Then here is talking about the 5 aggregates. So based on contact, there will be feeling. Then based on the feeling, also beside the contact, there's a perception, there's a volition, there's a consciousness. So here I'm trying to describe the 5 aggregates. The 5 aggregates comes because of the contact. Okay. Now, contact in Abhidhamma is actually belong to this Sankala, the formation. Okay. Because contact is not feeling, contact is not consciousness, contact is not perception. Contact actually is part of the volition. Here, volition is actually, if you want to look at the volition, volition should be translated Chetana. Chetana is the one that create the karma. Okay. Anyway, there will be this one, the way we see. Now, that is in a general way. Now, specific. Now, if that means that you try to see with the body parts. All right. Okay, next person. Sometimes it's a little bit repeating, but I think it's also Sister Chong Pat Lan. Yeah.
Good evening, Sayaji.
Yes.
Two, likewise, when he has discerned them in this way, in the head hair, it is the earth element that has the characteristics of hardness. In the in-breath and out-breath, it is the earth element that has the characteristics of hardness. Contact becomes evident as the first conjunction. Then the feeling associated with it as the feeling aggregate. The associate consciousness as the consciousness aggregate. This is how immaterial states become evident through contact.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
here specific means you take one of the body parts. So you try to see in the body parts, the head hair got the earth element. Now, earth element means the hardness. When you hold the head hair, it has the hardness, there's a softness, roughness, and so on. So when you hold it, how you feel? When you hold the head hair, so the feeling is there, right? But here we are looking at the contact. Okay, when you like, for example, you take the hair and then you hold it, the contact, you hold it, you hold your finger, how you feel it, then you will touch it, the contact is there. So it's based on the one object here. There's a earth element in the head hair. Okay, so you hold your hair, no? Oh, you got hair, right? You hold it, how you feel? Hold it. Okay, you touch it. This is a contact. Okay, how you feel? Hardness, softness, roughness, right? So imagine after when you take a shower. So when you hold it, it's different. It will become cool, very sleepy, and so on. So that's the thing is contact. Then of course when the contact comes, there will be feeling, there will be consciousness and so on. All right. So contact will be the very obvious one. So sometimes when you feel that your nama is not clear, so just pay more attention to contact. Now another one we need to pay attention is to the feeling. So you can see the text is quite repeating, but anyway, we good for us to read also. Brother Lim, yes. Brother Lim?
Which
This
feeling?
one? Yeah, feeling, yes. The 20.
20 dot 2a. To another who discern the four primary elements in the way beginning. The earth element has the characteristic of hardness. The feeling that has that as its object and experiences his stimulus, less present, etc., becomes evident as the feeling aggregates. The perception associated with that as the perception aggregates. The contact and the volition associated with that as the formation aggregates. And the consciousness associated with that as a consciousness aggregates. 2b. Likewise, to one who discerns them in this way, in the head hair, it is the earth element that has the characteristics of hardness. In the in-breath and out-breath, it is the earth element that has the characteristic of hardness. The feeling that has that as its object and experiences its stimulus becomes evident as the feeling aggregates. And the consciousness associated with that as the consciousness aggregates. This is how the immaterial states become evident through feeling.
Okay, thank you. So the first one is contact. The second one is
Saigi,
yeah, yes. You want to ask something?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You were saying that the in breath and out breath. Where is the hardness?
Oh, when you touch here, it will not be so hard. It will be soft most of the time. The breathing will be quite soft. It will not be as hard unless you breathe very hard. Yeah.
Then how is it called the earth elements?
Yeah. Okay. When we talk about earth element, we are focusing on the characteristic. It's not like physical earth. If we are talking about characteristic, the characteristic of earth element will be hardness, softness, roughness, smoothness, heaviness, lightness. So we are looking at the characteristic. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Now, so this is a feeling. So first one, contact. Like what you say, you hold it, the head hair, whatever, you have the contact. You focus it. Now, you can focus. Another one is on feeling. So because feeling is quite obvious, right? So it experience the object. Either you're feeling as good or bad or pleasant, unpleasant. So through the feeling, things are very easy. For example, you hear the sound, then your mind will be say, oh, you have pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling. When you eat something, it will be pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, or neutral feeling. So either way, you just focus on the feeling. That is for four great elements. Maybe you sit down, you feel the body is soft, so you have good feeling. Sometimes you feel the body very hard, is a bad feeling. Or that's in general is four primary elements. In detail, you need to see the head hair, body hair, nail, 32 body parts one by one by one. You focus on them and focus on feeling. So actually, if you focus on 32 body parts, it will be quite long time. Then another one is third is consciousnesses. Actually, the text is quite same. So Okay. Now, consciousness means that now when the mind know things, of course there will be feeling. Okay, there will be contact. Now, consciousness we can say is a awareness. When the mind knows something, how is it? So at that time there will be feeling, there will be perception, there will be volition, and so on. So when you notice the head hair, body hair, 32 body parts, and so on, how does the consciousness know it? Okay, so let's say we take the example of maybe our sixth sense door, the mind. Okay, the mind is the one that know. Yes, but at that time, then there's another mind that know the mind. That is on the nama side. But if we are talking about 32 body parts, so which part is easy to recognize? Okay, the body, and then let's say the eye. Okay, let's say the eye. The eye can be sense basis also. So when your eye see something, so you see something normally is neutral. But if you see some horrible things, then the consciousness that arise will not be good. It will be associated with bad feeling. But of course, at the moment of seeing, is always neutral feeling. So anyway, the key point is you need to know the nama to the consciousness. So there are three ways. First one, either by the contact, which is obvious the sound. It's just the object just come in the contact. The second way is by feeling. Right? Feeling means refer to when the things come in, your mind will label it automatically. It's a good feeling, bad feeling, or neutral feeling. Or when the object come in, is the object that aware of it. So how much you should pay attention to your awareness. Okay. Now I think we just rest 5 minutes and we continue the part 2. Okay. Just rest 5 minutes now.